Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another Monday Evening Mojo. Oh, man, we got a go for you today. No offense comes. Don't take the bait. Don't take it. Find out what we're talking about. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another fantastic Monday Evening Mojo. Oh, man. Well, in this particular subject, when offense comes, don't take the bait. And Monday Evening Mojos are sponsored by Comeback King Enterprises. And the whole idea, the whole vision of this messaging is it's real simple, right? To be able to create the comeback mentality as a lifestyle, right? Transforming setbacks into leadership, shifting stinking thinking into our truths, right? And most importantly, taking people from isolation into community based off of moving forward and understanding the power that we all possess, the kindness, the importance of that, right? So I show up here on Monday and I pick something that is kind of real life that's going on, and today's message is kind of like that. And for those of you that don't know me, I am Jeff Tyson, host of Conversations with Jeff, and known as Comeback King. And we're oftentimes in collaboration with Comeback King Enterprises. So this message tonight is really kind of cool. So when you hear it, I want you to think about it. As always, I kind of keep a few notes on here so I don't have you here all night long, right? But I've already told you who I am. I've already told you what we're going to talk about. And let me see. I can make sure I got it in here because this one's really cool because this happened to me over the weekend. I was talking about it, I think Saturday I was mentioning it, and then Sunday something else came up. So I'm thinking, man, this must be something I need to talk about. I know I'm not the only one experiencing this stuff, right? So help me out. I got the information in the comments section there or the chat. So you guys have that too. So let's get busy. Why are we here tonight? Because we're going to talk about, letting people. What am I saying here? Offenses will come. Peace is a decision you make before the test shows up. Oh, man. Peace, baby. We're talking about that word peace. We hear it a lot, but are we really seeking peace? Do we have peace in our own lives? Because offenses will come, and they will show up. People will agitate you. I wrote down something. Misunderstandings will happen. People will say things that poke you, prod you, agitate you, like this thing that happened to me over the weekend. And then it's up to you on what you do, right? And here's the truth that most people miss, including me from time to time. The offense is really a setup, man, to steal your peace, your purpose, and your focus. I'm going to tell you that again. Steal your peace, your purpose, and your focus. I mean, that's the whole outcome of these obstacles that pop up, right? So offense is set up to steal. How you doing with it? Is it stealing your peace, your purpose, and your focus? Are you losing track? Are you reacting? Or maybe you should be responding. Like, hey, I shared a story over the weekend where my wife and I walked over to one of the local restaurants and we got some food, and the clerk was in another zone, and we recognized that, and then we had a conversation with the clerk, and first he wanted to act like he cared, and then he started to position himself as to why he did what he did, which was poor customer service, in a way that was kind of like, those words that people say things to you that all of a sudden your hair starts to rise up. Well, I don't have much hair, but the energy starts to shift and the anger starts to come and the emotions start to speak loudly. But I didn't do any of that. I just kept breathing through the process, right? Because I have to live what I'm talking about all the time, like in peace and being epic and encouraging, praising and inspiring and complimenting people. So I did all that stuff, man, right? And then we got through it. But I said, you know what? Before I leave, let me talk to the manager because, people need to, and hopefully in a way that she takes the feedback and constructively deals with this individual. And she said that, and she was gracious and she offered some things for us. But as I was talking to her, and here's what I want to make sure you hear me. As I was talking to her, I had a calm conversation going and everything, but the more I thought about it, the angrier I got. And a few words slipped out, words that you don't necessarily say on the air. I said, I'm sorry, I said that and all that stuff. And afterwards, my wife said, you had it going on until you said those few words you said. Then you give away your power when you do that. You lose your integrity when you do that. You lose your leverage. Because we talk about that all the time, right? Whether she deserved it or not, that's not my place to do. So I want you to think about how we treat people when I felt like I had some position, right? But it wasn't that. I didn't use it towards her. I just said it in my explanation. It doesn't justify it. Because what did I say? What did I say about that? It's that offenses are set up to steal your peace, your purpose, and your power. Right? And I could have given that away. Oh man. Woo-hoo. Matter of fact, I did for a little bit. Right. So that's one thing I want you to hear about. And then I want to kind of move. I want to move along through this thing because I did make some notes in there. So first thing is peace is a decision you make before the tests show up. What do I mean by that? I mean, it's a practice, habit, exercise that you could do. Right? For me and my wife, we always focus on serving each other at home so that we can be better servants in the streets. Right? Praise and compliment all those we meet. That's kind of a mantra that we have, and we've had that for years. And now we've moved that into being epic, encouraging, praising, inspiring, and complimenting people. Because this transformation that we're talking about, creating the comeback as a lifestyle, a way of thinking, right, that transforms worldwide, man. We're talking about people, everybody that has one of these has the ability to do what I'm talking about. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about paying attention to your stinking thinking, turning that messaging that you have into your truths, not your roadblock, taking setbacks and creating leaders from that, right? And then most importantly, I'm going to say it again, going from isolation or on this mountaintop to community, right? One message at a time. Guys, are you hearing me? One message at a time. So be careful what you do, because every time you take the bait, and I got these things here, so every time, man, I'm thinking, oh boy, I didn't do very well here. Because every time you take the bait, you give away emotional control. I already said that, right? So you lose that, you step out of alignment. I'm not in the business of offending people. I'm not in the business of looking like an idiot because I've lost my cool. That's not my alignment, right? And then you miss your daily comebacks. Everything's off there. Right? Because the comebacks are designed really to build you. They're designed to really help you peel off all the layers. They're really designed for you to go through the grind so you can get to your purpose, right? Because they're a continuation. They don't go away. Hey, comebacks start, you're in the middle of, or you're at the end of. So comebacks are a way of life. And that's what we're talking about, doing transformation for that, right? And peace isn't passive, though. That's the thing. We got to work at our peace. We have to practice being calm. We have to practice responding rather than reacting. I'll just say me. You may have it figured out, but I have to practice these things that I talk about all the time because they don't come naturally, right? I mean, some things do and some things don't, right? I mean, I mentioned the other day that they call me the quiet storm for years, and I'm much better at it. But still, I need some practice. I need some help. I need some reminders, right? So every time you take the bait, I already told you what happens then. And peace isn't passive. It's a decision. I want to say these things. Peace, a decision to stay grounded when emotions flare. Oh, how do you think I did with that one? Not too well, right? A decision to respond instead of react. Again, didn't do too well. A decision to protect your inner world no matter what's happening around you. I think I missed the mark on all three of those over the weekend. So this is all building up to how we're going to perform and how we're going to act the rest of the week, right? So we got that. Why does all this matter? Jeff, why are you talking to me about this? Why are you talking to me about baiting? Why are you talking about decision and reacting? Because it matters, man. We can make a difference. We, the people, can make a difference. I believe that. Believe that. And we need your help to do that, right? Why does it matter? Because you can't lead without peace, not lead effectively, not lead with building people, not lead and creating communities and villages. You can't without that peace. People need to be able to be comfortable coming to you. People need to be able to feel like you hear them. People need to be able to trust that you're going to do the right thing in a heated, chaotic moment, right? Peace, baby. Not just the peace sign. I grew up with hippies, right? Peace. Oh, you don't know what hippie is, look it up. Can't find there's no reason not to know something in today's world, right? Google, whatever you got to do, find out what it is. Don't be lazy. Go find it out, verify it, and then learn something from it, right? Hippies, go look them up. And then the next thing, what matters is because you can't lead from peace. I already said that. And you can't heal. You cannot heal while you're reacting. It doesn't work. If you're in reaction mode, man, you can't absorb anything. If you're in reaction mode, you're not listening. If you're in reaction mode, your mind is closed and you're going to figure out, you're going to squeeze it until you get it, even if you're wrong. Reaction is a dangerous place to be, man. And here's the last one. You can't move forward if you constantly pull backward. It just doesn't happen, right? But here's the thing. Comeback warriors don't fight every battle. They pick and choose the ones that make the most sense, the ones that mean the most. And they graciously proceed, unlike I did over the weekend, right? So this week, every week, we come in here on the Mojo and give you a power move that we want you to exercise, right? Just something to kind of keep you thinking about staying out of that reaction mode, more into responsive mode, more into consideration mode, more into sharing and creating an environment that people want to be in, right? So what is this week? When the offense comes, don't do like it. When the offense comes, don't take the bait. There's 3 things I want you to do. I want you to stay focused on what your mission is, what this message is today. Being considerate of others. You never know what's going on in the life of somebody in front of you, even the ones that live in your house sometimes. You don't really know. You can assume, but you don't always know. And sometimes people just do things because they do things. And I didn't tell you, I want to share this quick story about Sunday. I went to, after Saturday, I think it was Friday or Saturday, I had this experience. Sunday, we go hear the message, and he's talking, he shared this story. Pastor shared this story around being invited to come and be, they have this big TV network and all this. And so folks invited him to this Sunday. He had to come go to their company to do an interview. And they told him exactly where to park. Park up by the doors. Don't worry about it. Come in these doors. You're okay. So he does that. He pulls in. He pulls in. And it's raining. He said, "Oh man, thank goodness they let me park here." And he gets out of the car, and the security guard comes out of nowhere and says, "You can't park there. You have to move your car." And he's trying to explain the things to her. You have, to the point where he's he remembered he's a preacher and a pastor, and he got in the car and he moved in the car. We had to walk back through that rain and trying to get to the meeting. It's going to be on TV, all these things. How would you be responding if that happened to you? Right? And he goes in and does his thing, and he comes back out, and you see each other, and they had a communication. She identified, he told her who he was, and she recognized. He said, "Oh, I go to your church," and all these things. But just would imagine if you would have done what I did to that person, what I wanted to do, right? And he said, "Hey, I was close." He was pretty close. He admitted that. So look, I am human too. I almost lost it, but he didn't. So I don't want that to happen to you this week. And there's a lot of reasons why I can. I mean, where people get snatched off the streets, right? I mean, you're having military folks being released in the cities and states, and you have the green light in some areas, some capacities to do whatever happens if you look a certain way. right? Without asking any questions. People are getting killed behind it, or however it is, whatever the reason for it, that's what's going on. So there's a lot of tension, and I'm no different than you. That's why I'm probably talking to you about this message tonight. Don't take the bait. And remember, you can't lead without peace. You can't heal while you're being reactive. Can't serve while you're being reactive. And you can't move forward if you're focused on being pulled backwards. So if you're committed to this and you're protecting your peace this week, as always, I'll give you something to do. If you're committed to protecting your peace this week and staying in power this week, drop the word peace in the comments or message me directly. And from all the way from the very beginning, peace is a decision you make before the test shows up. The offense is coming. It's going to be a test. It's always a test, baby. And remember, we're in a transformational space, taking the lifestyle of a comeback as a benefit, as an asset to us, because we look at it differently. We're no longer letting thinking have the negative message. It becomes our truth, right? And our setbacks become leading into leadership and community versus isolation. So appreciate everybody. Have a great week. I know most of you will hear the recording. Drop a note when you hear it. Let me know what's going on, how this resonates with you. And please, 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 please hear me when I tell you this. It's possible to create a worldwide movement towards comeback as a lifestyle and an expectation that's part of life, right? And our actions transform us from the things that we've talked about. No more whining, no more crying. Get excited about the real reality of life. And let's do this thing. All right. You guys have a great week. Remember what I asked you to do. What was the thing I asked you to do? Drop the word peace in there. And this week, power move. When offenses come, when they say something crazy to you, when your nerves are crazy on the car or whatever it is that you're about to lose your cool over, don't take the bait. Take care. See you next Monday. I believe in y'all. Have a great day. Don't take the bait, baby. Good night now.